After 30 loyal years, I was told I was too old for the job. But when chaos hit, they came crawling back, and my revenge was priceless. I'm Margaret Turner, and I had been in this office longer than the paint on the walls, 30 years. 30 years of remembering every client's birthday, every lawyer's coffee preference, and every shortcut to the red tape that kept the place moving when deadlines loomed like thunderstorms. I was typing up a legal brief at my desk, an oak desk that had been mine since 1994. The sound of high heels clicked down the hallway, faster and sharper than my longtime boss's familiar pace. Then I saw her, Ashley Reed, 28, the firm's newest rising star. She was the daughter of a board member's golf buddy and had been given the title of operations director after just 1 year at the firm. Ashley leaned against my desk, tapping her acrylic nails on the wood. "Margaret," she began, smiling the way a cat does at a bird. "I've been reviewing the admin structure here, and I think it's time we, well, modernize." Modernize? I paused my typing. Yes, fresh energy, new ideas, you know. Someone who understands today's workflow. Ashley's tone dripped with condescension. "You're great, but outdated. We've decided to bring in someone younger, someone who can keep up with our pace." My heart pounded, but my face stayed calm. "After 30 years?" I asked softly. Ashley tilted her head and said, "It's nothing personal. You'll get a generous severance." The next morning, I packed my desk in silence, while a perky 5-year-old named Kelsey stood nearby, pretending to be friendly while eyeing my drawers like she was already redecorating. I smiled politely, but in my mind, I wasn't saying goodbye. I was saying, "You'll regret this." 2 months later, I was enjoying my quiet mornings with coffee and a crossword puzzle, with no commute. But that peace was shattered one Thursday at 8:13 a.m. when my phone buzzed. It was an unknown number, and I almost ignored it. But then I saw the name flash on the second ring, Caldwell and Pierce Law. "Margaret," a panicked voice said. It was Jason Pierce, one of the senior partners. We have a disaster. The Martinson case. Kelsey can't find the original signed contracts. Without them, we're sunk. Trial is in 3 days." I leaned back in my chair, hiding my smirk. I said slowly. "Those files are in the off-site archive, 3rd storage row. Blue folder with red tape, filed under the client's original business name from 2003. I told Kelsey that the first week she started. There was frantic murmuring on the other end, and then Jason's voice returned, urgent. "She didn't know, Margaret. We're in trouble. Could you come in just for a day?" I looked at the clock, took a sip of my coffee, and let the silence stretch before I answered. "I'm not sure I'm available. You see, I've been modernizing my own schedule." I let Jason's desperate breathing echo through the phone. In the background, I could hear chaos, raised voices, phones ringing off the hook, and the muffled slam of a filing cabinet drawer. "Margaret, please," Jason said again. "The CEO himself wants to speak to you." There was a shuffle, and then a deep, smooth baritone that I knew all too well. "Margaret," said Daniel Whitford, CEO of Caldwell and Pierce. "I've heard there's tension between you and our new operations director. Let me cut to the chase. We need you urgently." I leaned back in my armchair. "Well, Daniel, I seem to recall that when I was told I was outdated, no one from the top floor disagreed." "That was a mistake," he said quickly. "Ashley was wrong to let you go. But right now, our biggest client is threatening to walk because those contracts are missing. You're the only one who knows our filing systems well enough to track them down." I swirled my coffee. "You mean the system I designed? The one I told Ashley she should learn before she pushed me out?" I asked. There was a pause, then a sigh. "Yes, that one," he said. My lips curled into the smallest, most dangerous smile. "I'll come in," I said at last, "but not as your secretary. I'll return as an independent consultant with my own office, a private parking space, and triple my former salary. And," I added, "I will report directly to you. No, Ashley." Silence. I could almost hear him weighing pride against survival. "Finally," he said. "Done. Be here by noon." The moment I stepped through the glass doors of Caldwell and Pierce, heads turned. It wasn't just my presence, it was the way I walked. It wasn't the quiet shuffle of a longtime employee, but the confident stride of someone who had nothing to lose and everything to gain. I wore a tailored navy suit with a silk scarf at my neck and carried a leather briefcase that looked far more expensive than anything I'd owned before my retirement. Kelsey sat at the front desk, her face pale and tight. She tried to smile, but it was more of a grimace. Margaret. Hi. I didn't know you were. I breezed past her. Of course you didn't. Inside the boardroom, the tension was thick enough to slice. Daniel stood at the head of the table, flanked by two senior partners. Ashley was there too, arms crossed, with a tight smile plastered on her face. Margaret, Daniel began formally. Welcome back. I'm not back, I corrected him. I'm here to fix what you couldn't. Ashley's eyes narrowed. You don't need to make this personal. My laugh was soft, but it cut. Oh, honey. You made it personal the day you called me outdated. Without another word, I opened my briefcase, pulled out a single manila folder, and slid it across the table. The missing contracts. Ashley's face drained of color. How? How did you? I keep copies, I said simply. Not because I don't trust a firm, but because I don't trust incompetence. Daniel exhaled with relief. You've saved us, Margaret. This client means millions to us. I closed my briefcase. Then I suggest you remember the value of experience. The deal was signed, the client was kept, and my new office was ready within a week. It was bigger than Daniel's old corner suite, with a view of the city and a mahogany desk that gleamed under the afternoon sun. My first official act as senior consultant was to reorganize the administrative system without telling Ashley a single detail. If the young director wanted to learn, she could earn it. One afternoon, as I was leaving for the day, I saw Kelsey at the elevator with a cardboard box. Her desk plant peeked out of the top. Ashley's voice rang out from her office, shrill and panicked. Kelsey, how could you misplace the Perkins deposition? Do you realize? I walked past just in time to see Ashley's flushed, stressed face. I paused, tilting my head with a look of pure satisfaction. Oh, Ashley, I said sweetly. Still struggling to keep up? Ashley opened her mouth, but no words came out. I stepped into the elevator, the doors closing slowly as I delivered my parting gift. A small, knowing smirk that said, You brought this on yourself.